Now, this has nothing to do with the two-party system, the usual topic of this channel. This does have to do with foreign alarm bigotry. Now, neither Democrats or Republicans are especially guilty of this as a group. I'm sure there's some people who might disagree with me. If there was a reason for bigotry, or this kind of bigotry, even a smidgen of rightness in it, something where there was an argument between one side or the other, I could accept that I'd have to agree to disagree. But it's a sickness, it's a dream, a proud, bloated need for a place in the sun where a man or woman can believe, if only for a moment, that they are part of something great and godlike. Now let me suggest that it isn't. Now, I've watched Joe Biden make speeches. I know many of you hate him. I don't find him to be the most appealing person, though I have noticed that more people around me are getting vaccinated only weeks into his presidency. I respect his dedication to helping people, and as an American, I am a defender of the Constitution. We spent far too many years since the revolution that brought us to our freedoms to abandon it now, especially after so many have died to defend it. What you might not have considered is that without it, we are not Americans in the first place. Without it, we'll become North Korea or Russia. Now, Biden has stated he decided to run for president when he saw the white supremacists in Charlottesville. He said it calmly and kindly, which, despite a few explosions, seems to be his way of expressing himself. He has repeated that he is a president for all people, and that we have to work toward unity. While I agree with his methods because they probably will work and honor the Constitution, I find his kindness somewhat annoying. I am from New York, and New Yorkers are not tolerant of stupidity and wasted time. To me, attacking the problem of the clowns in Charlottesville requires a little more harshness and a little more anger. And I think it's obvious to anyone who has watched these people, anger is the only thing that they would respect, and perhaps listen to, if only for a moment. Now, back in Charlottesville, we saw many white supremacists. The most memorable example of this behavior was the sight of men marching and chanting, "Jews will not replace us." Ironically, the same thing that caused Biden to run for president in the first place. That weekend resulted in the pointless death of a young woman. The reason for her death was never quite explained by the angry men who came there to do something most of us can't really understand. You'd think that there would have been scream support of her killer, but no one said anything. While supremacists are looking to keep things the same way as they have been, so their lifestyle isn't destroyed by people of different colors or cultures, well, I challenge any of them to tell us that there is a single lifestyle that they can identify for millions of white people from different cultures and backgrounds. White people are disturbed by the perceived aggressive attempts to take what they have. These are the supremacists. From their point of view, black people are there to ruin their lives. Jews are trying to take over the government, locking the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant from whatever prerogatives they build up over the years, even if they have no special prerogatives in the first place. Hispanics will crowd the country, they say, pushing white people out of the way. Now, the reality is that none of these minorities are out to replace anyone because it isn't worth their time or effort. Of course, the marchers in Charlottesville won't believe that. But I have a theory. In an earlier video, I mentioned my feeling about people who become extremists, who find villains that are the cause of their anger. They are simply unable to admit that their problem is theirs alone. Such people are often dissatisfied with their lives and their ordinary status. Most of us would like to be more important than we are, but these people need something greater than themselves to become powerful in a world where no one notices them in their ordinary workaday world, like most of us. In many ways, white supremacy is a philosophy of desperation. What else would cause you to develop fear, and it is fear, in relationship to people who barely even know you're there? The truth is, Hispanics and blacks and Jews don't know or think about the people who believe that they will be replaced by them. Of course, they've heard of the groups that hold these views, but like most people, they are involved in their own lives, raising children, going to their jobs, being working class heroes like most people who raise families. Something that is honorable. And oddly enough, they aren't looking to the side to see what other people are doing, like the men in Charlottesville. They have important things to do, like feed mouths. Some of them do important things like work as policemen, work as doctors, work in search and rescue. The point is, people don't need to be looking for enemies. If the folks in Charlottesville forget that all their enemies existed, if they'd never even heard of them, they wouldn't even know they were there. And they wouldn't care because the people they hate don't even know who they are and wouldn't care enough to attack them. And then maybe, if they let go of their ugly dream, the folks in Charlottesville would decide to help the elderly neighbors, spread the word about faith, or do something that other people would want them to do. Even in their own backyard, something that they would look up to. Let me tell you what I see when I see a bunch of grown men march like girls in a chorus line shouting crap. I see a group of cheerleaders doing their best to attract attention so that each of them can get to the top spot on the squad. Who else works so hard to get attention from people they don't even know, talking about people who don't even know them? We have decades of people looking up to people like John Wayne and war heroes, and here are a bunch of guys driving miles to perform in a chorus line for people who don't even know who they are and don't care. Now that's desperation. So do you want to be a hero, a man who is superior to other men, the pedigree of John Wayne, or soldiers who fight for our freedoms? Or do you want to be a fake soldier in a war that doesn't exist? Find something important to do so your children will talk about you like you're a king, because otherwise you'll disappear in the dustbin of history, because you won't do anything that makes you a king in the eyes of history. Thank you for listening.